morning, it's Patsy. So I've come on today to do a tag. Kelly Bear started this tag over the weekend. I think I saw it Sunday, and then Simon from the Hermit's Cave done it, and he tagged me as one of his 5 to do this VR. So I popped on this morning to do it. The tag is hashtag 54321 tarot, and there's 5 parts to the actual tag. So the 5 tarot decks is the first question. So this can be your top 5, your favourite 5, or your last 5 you brought, or 5 witchy decks or 5 fairy decks, whatever you want it to be. It can be whatever it is you want, as long as it's 5 tarot decks. So what I've gone and done is 5 tarot decks that I have in my collection that I don't connect to. So the first one is the Tarot of the Marseille. I bought this a few years ago because I wanted to learn the Marseille system. It's just a basic Marseille. I didn't want to spend a lot of money on a Marseille, and which has worked out just as well, because I just get these laid out in front of me. I think that's supposed to be that way, isn't it? Don't know, but let's get some of that. I get these laid out in front of me and my mind just goes blank. It's just like a load of squiggles. It does nothing to me. It does nothing for me whatsoever. I'm sure the system is lovely, and I know a lot of people use it, but for me, if I lay 3 in front of me, I'm like, ain't got a clue. So I still keep hold of it, because one day I might go back to it and it'll all make sense to me and I might get the hang of it. But at the minute, no, I just can't connect with that system. It's not just the deck, it's the whole system. Normally, if I've got decks that I don't get on with after a few months, I will get rid of, but some I keep hold of for whatever reason. And that Marseille deck is one that I keep hold of, because I do live in hope that one day I will get the look at it and it will make sense. So the next one is a gorgeous deck, and it's the John Bower Tarot. And this deck I've had a while. I love the artwork on the back of here. The artwork is stunning, but as an actual reader, for, you know, laying out more than a few cards or whatever, it doesn't really speak to me in that way, where you lay cards and straight away, you know, you're straight there and you're getting your message and you're delivering it or whatever. The reason I keep hold of this is not just for the beautiful artwork, but this is one deck that I do use when I go deep diving, when I do a bit of shadow working. Then I don't even, I mean, I could even cut off these bits, because when I do the shadow working, I'm just looking at the images. I'm not looking at what its association with the tarot system is. It's just the images. So this is why I keep this one in my collection, even though I find it very hard to connect with to do tarot readings. I find it extremely helpful when I do some deep delve into some darker shadow work. So that is the John Bower Tarot. So that's my number 2. My number 3 is a new one, and this is the reason why it's still here, because I'm going to keep working with it, and it's the Tarot of the Enchanted Gardens, or Enchanted Garden, I should say. Now, with this one, it's a gorgeous deck. It's a Lo Scarabeo. It's a beautiful deck. But what I've found when I've tried to work with it, I don't know if it's because all the colours are very samey. There's not much of a colour, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, there's not such a large scope of colour. All the cards are pretty much the same sort of colouring. And even though that's beautiful when you've got one card and you're looking at it, I found when you got more than, like I like, well, when you do more than 3 card spread, they all kind of mix into one, and it's sort of hard trying to pick out the different cards, if you like, when there's more than 3 laid out. Excuse me, frog in my throat. Yeah, so even though it's beautiful, when I've got more than 3 lined out like that, because they're so busy and the colours are all very similar, they all just kind of mingle into one, you know. I'm sure that my eyes don't help with that situation, but yeah, for that reason I am struggling a little bit with it, but I'm not going to give up on it because it is beautiful, and I'm used to busy decks because I do like a busy deck. So I think this one's just going to need more time to connect with it, because like I said, it is gorgeous. I love the images, and I do like the pastel colours. It's just, for some reason, I don't know, it just seems to all mingle into one, and it kind of becomes a problem. But I will keep plodding on with that one. So the next one, so my number 4, is another one that's quite new, and I've talked about this one a lot. It's The Witch's Garden, and I know this is a favourite of many people, but this deck, and I don't know what it is, I am struggling to connect with. I had it on pre-order, all the rest of it, and it's everything that I thought I loved in a deck. It's everything. I mean, your artwork is gorgeous. You know by looking at the card what it is. It's not much different to the RWS. Most of it is, you know, pretty much a clone of the RWS. But I just find when I try to do readings with this, I'm not getting a straight, clear answer. It just doesn't seem, it just seems, I don't know, it just seems like some decks you can use and you know the answer's so clear and so you know exactly what it's saying to you. With this deck, I really have to stop and think, well, what are you saying to me? And I don't know what it is. I just can't put my finger on it. But at the minute, I am using this as my daily pulls, to try and get to know it better and try to find that connection, because it is a lovely deck and I do wish, you know, to work with it. So the last one is The Witch's Wisdom Tarot. Again, this one is, it's in the bag, I've got to take it out the bag. Gorgeous artwork, and but one of the things, I don't like big tarot decks. I don't like big tarot decks at all. I much prefer the smaller, more easier to handle and easier to lay out in a smaller space and what have you. But it's the system of this one. I really can't get my head around this system. So all I'm doing with it is using it more like an oracle, just pulling one card. Because the whole system, and now it's all back to front, and okay, it makes sense when you kind of read why she's done it and you go through it in the order that she does it, but still, to me, when I lay that card down, I've still got the Tarot Association in the way that I normally read it, and to try and then work out that with the system that she uses, it just blows my mind. I just can't be dealing with it. So it's a shame. It's a lovely deck, except the size. I'm not keen on the size. Like I said, I'm not a fan of big decks. Very hard to handle, very hard to lay down in small spaces. But more than anything, it's the system, and that's what I struggle with, that one. So that is the 5 tarot decks, and the prompt I chose was 5 tarot decks that I find hard to connect with. So that is my 5 that I struggle to connect with. So the next prompt is 4 books. So 4 tarot related books. It can be guide books, it can be any kind of book as long as it's tarot. So the first one I'm going to show you is one that I've had a good while. I don't even know when this came out. It must be in here somewhere. But I've had it a good few years. I think it's still available. I'm sure I've seen it still. 2009. Dusty White, The Easiest Way to Learn the Tarot Ever. That's the book. It's a big book. You've got like markers to go to different sections, which make it easier. And it says how to hear the cards and what they are trying to tell you. Secrets from the mystery schools are presented in the incredibly easy step-by-step hands-on process with free live teachings from the author. This book will learn you how to read the tarot, search deep into the past and unravel all sorts of life's most important mysteries, like, it goes on like that. Never again will you pause during a reading to mumble, let me check the book. Dusty White alerts you to all the visual clues of each card. Big bold pages and clever exercises let you get right to work mastering the tarot. And that's what it basically is. It's a whole book on different prompts and different exercises to get to know the tarot. But it's like he doesn't use telling you how to memorize cards or anything. He shows you how to kind of look into the card and pick out different things in there, and how to do the story. You know, if you lay cards out, how to read a story with them. It's just full of exercises and spreads to try and things like that. But like it'll go through each individual card there, look, and he'll give you the description, then the prime elements and the traditional meanings and the traditional reverse meanings. But he gets you to look at the card and put write down what you see in the card, what the meanings are to you. And so rather than having to memorize the thing, is asking you to take what you're getting from the cards and writing it all down. And like I said, the whole book just goes through all of the spreads, all of the different ways of reading the cards. And it's more to read them intuitive, I think, rather than, because chucking away the book of the exact meaning should be this. But he goes into the descriptions quite well. And it's a good book. I mean, I've sort of delved in and out, and he's also done timing spreads in here. Fun things you can do to your tarot deck, and he's kind of put the bubbles in where they're talking and saying different things, like there was 4 of Cups, that one saying, I said I want chocolate. Again, offered something he doesn't want. I said I wanted chocolate. So he's just finding different ways that you can sort of memorize the meanings more easier by putting in things like that. So that's quite an interesting book, especially if you're a learner, or especially if you're more into trying to work out how to be more intuitive working deck. It comes easy to some people, but other people it's not so easy. So that is the first one. That's a Dusty White, The Easiest Way to Learn Tarot. The next one is, most people would have this one, or one of Rachel Pollack's. This one is the 78 Degrees of Wisdom, and this is just like a guidebook really. It just goes more in depth with the cards and what have you. You get pages and pages of just one card rather than just a short bit. So it's like an extended, more full-on nice and thick meaning of the cards. And it says on the back, one of the most authoritative works of the tarot ever written, a book which encourages the diviner to perceive the deep message of the tarot. It's one of the classic books, will never outgrow its usefulness. It's very good for, like I said, if you're learning tarot, or, you know, just to have on your shelf to dig and delve into, to expand your own understanding of the cards. So that is the 78 Degrees of Wisdom. The next one is this one. This is the Tarot for the Healing Heart, using inner wisdom to heal body, mind and spirit, and it's by Christine Jett. I love this book, I've used it a lot. Wellness is body, mind and spirit in balance. Working with tarot for healing brings body, mind and spirit into balance to support the healing process. Tarot for the Healing Heart contains activities and exercises designed to help you use tarot in your own healing process. Learn 10 original tarot card layouts for healing, meditate on the healing qualities of tarot cards, develop psychic ability through sacred play with tarot cards, and contact your healing guide. Break the pain cycle and create an atmosphere for healing. This book, it's, I mean, you can see I've highlighted different things in here that was relevant to me. But it's about getting to know yourself, sacred spaces and the healing of dreams, picturing your pain, mirror, mirror on the wall, the broken heart, understanding illness, love your body and heal your body. There's tarot spreads, like she said. And then, oh, what else is there? Oh, there's so much in here. There are all the spreads. There are all the spreads. Whole New World. How to use a pendulum in the help with the reading of tarot, hidden heart tarot, life lessons and life wisdom. And then she goes into all of the cards. So she starts with the major arcana. So the Fool, mistrust is the life lesson, trust is the life wisdom, life lesson, not listening to your inner voice, fearing or doubting the future, having a blind naivety, immaturity or foolishness, which allows others to take advantage of you, refusing to try the new and lacking playfulness. The life wisdom is balanced energy healing, having an openness to divine guidance based on trust, having spontaneity and a sense of playfulness, willing to take risks and try something new without knowing the outcome because you trust the process, abandoning old ways of thinking. And then she gives you actions to support the healing process. Try a sampling of several healing techniques, both ancient and modern, until you find the ones you trust. Everything you experience will lead you deeper to understanding who you are and what you believe. Take the time to play, be spontaneous, open your eyes, mind and heart for a time of unfolding and divine guidance. Take a leap of faith. And then contacting your inner wisdom. Where am I being naive? Do I need to play more? What do I mistrust in my life? Where am I rigid? So they're all like the prompts to ask yourself to journal on. And she does that with every single card of the tarot. And it's really interesting and it helped me an awful lot. I'm going to leave this out again because I had put it away because I could do with some more help. But the court cards, like the sword court cards, the psychological level of illness and healing. And the Page of Swords are messages from the psychological plane of illness and health. The Knight of Swords is the therapist, counsellor. The Queen of Swords is the healer. And the King of Swords is the physician and the advisor. And she does that with all of the courts. So that is Tarot for the Healing Heart, Using Inner Wisdom to Heal Body and Mind by Christine Jett. And this is an excellent book. My throat's very thingy today. The last book I'm going to show you is a tarot book. It's the Deviant Moon. Oh God, it's heavy. The Deviant Moon Tarot by Patrick Valenza. Such a huge book and it's very heavy. Talented artist Patrick Valenza presents evocative tarot images inspired by his childhood dreams and visions. The richly illustrated book takes you through the moonlit scenes of Deviant Moon to glimpse the creative inspiration and artistic process that gave rise to the extraordinary tarot deck. In his companion book, Patrick also shares his unique tarot interpretations that will take your readings to a whole new level. So I can't really show you this because it is so heavy, But you got some wonderful pictures and loads of different things, like the devil there, and then the upright meanings, the reverse meanings, and how he sees it. You've got his different artwork all the way through the book. My marker just fell out from where I was, but hey ho. But yeah, I mean, it's so hard to, but it's full of sketches and how we come to make the deck, and why, you know, how the images kind of grew over time and different things like that. And it's a lovely book. God, it's heavy. So put that down there. So that is my 4 books. So the next prompt is 3 spreads. So I'm not really one for 3 spreads. So this is quite a difficult one. So 3 card spreads. You can't go wrong with 3 card spreads. You can do anything with 3 cards, and not just past, future, now, whatever, you know. You can make your own questions and you can put them down. I do a 3 card every day for my morning draw, and it's usually something to do with the energy of the day, what I need to do today, and what may come in to challenge this, or, you know, something like that. But yeah, so the 3 card spread is one that I do every day. Another spread would be, I know it's not one that many like, but I do use the Celtic Cross. If I want to delve deeply into something, then I will, because I think that covers all bases. So I do occasionally use that. And the one that I use more often than not is the 9 box 333. The middle card will always be, but the middle card and the first card is the 2 cards I pull first, and they will be the situation around the person, like me, and the situation, or the question that I've asked, or what I need to know. And then the other cards will kind of, the top, it's hard to explain, but the top card where the top line of 3, as you're moving along, is what could come into being with this question you've asked, what might, you know, be coming into play. And the cards below it would be things that, because not our paths aren't all set in stone, so even though this is the path that very may well sort of come with this question that you've asked, the path that might take, there could be challenges and different things coming along the way that may change that, or things that you haven't thought of that maybe you need to look at, and they'll come in below the cards in the 2 rows below. So I'll maybe have to do one of these spreads to kind of show you what I mean, but yeah, so they're the 3 spreads more than anything, but I'm not a great person for spreads. So the next prompt, 2 tarot habits and or paraphernalia. I don't really use an awful lot of paraphernalia when I do readings and what have you. I'm usually at the table, kitchen table, and reading cards, so I don't have an awful lot of paraphernalia. Sometimes if I've got somebody coming for reading, I'll have crystals or a candle, but not really. But my tarot habits, I suppose my 2 main ones are my 3 card spread in the morning. I pull that every day without fail. I never miss. So every day I'll do my 3 card spread and the journaling, what goes with that. And the other tarot habit, every time I get a new deck, I will go through each one by one, and looking at each card, putting aside the ones that like stick out to me to be really lovely. Oh, that's a favourite, or ones that I'm sort of like, oh, not sure about that one, put it to a side and make the piles, you know, ones what are just like, yeah, fine. Oh, that's good, yeah. Oh, not sure about that, put that. And then kind of go through that pile of the ones that I really like and find my favourite out of them, and the same with the ones that I disliked, the one that I really disliked, and then kind of work out what it is about that card I really liked or what card I didn't like. So they're about the only 2 habits that I've got. And the last one is 1 piece of tarot advice or a card you wish to embody, and why. So I'm just going to give a piece of tarot advice, I suppose. And my advice would be to anybody starting out, go for a deck that suits you. Not one that somebody told you have to have. Yes, the Rider-Waite system is a great system to learn with, but if it doesn't call to you and if it doesn't do anything for you, then it's going to be difficult to learn with it, because it's just not going to give you that inspiration or that passion to pull it out. So go for a deck. I would say, you know, if you can get one what's based on the Rider-Waite, then that is, there's so many out there all based on the Rider-Waite, just a bit prettier or whatever you, then go for that. But that doesn't even matter either. If you go for something, even if it's like the Witch's, you know, Wisdom Tarot, which is a completely different system, if that's someone what speaks to you, go for it. Read it, you know, how you want to read it. Find your own meanings for cards, and that's fine. I mean, there's lots of people out there do it intuitively. That's what that Dusty White book is all about, reading it intuitively. So yeah, you don't have to have stacks of books and have to memorize every meaning. You don't have to read reversals. Read it your way, do it your way, and start with a deck that talks to you, not that you're just buying because that's what people have told you to buy. So there we go. So that is my piece of advice for what it's worth. And that is the end of the tag. So thanks for the tag, Kelly Bear. And thanks for tagging me in it, Simon. And I will put down in my description the 5 people I wish to tag. And I will speak to you all soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.